Check this out. This almost never happens. It's all happening. Well, the Nasty Nasir Jones hot streak continues with King's Disease 3, his fourth album in 3 years, produced by his now go-to producer, Hit Boy. The project is 17 tracks long, clocking in at 52 minutes, complete with 0 features. 0 features. No other rappers, no other singers, nobody. Nas held it down solo dolo, and outside of Lost Tapes, which was essentially a collection of previously unreleased songs, this is the first time Nas has tackled an entire project on his own. Much of King's Disease 3 feels like it revels in reflective storytelling. This is Nas celebrating his 30 years in the music industry and all the achievements he's amassed over the course of those 3 decades, juxtaposed with the times where he had to duck bullets and dodge the life gone awry. And there's a lot of name dropping on this, a lot of name dropping. Check this out. CeeLo Green, Gnarls Barkley, Glorilla, Big Daddy Kane, Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z, Tupac, Biggie, E-Moneybags, Freddie Kang, Malcolm X, Ray Liotta, James Caan, Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, Ray Charles, James Baldwin, Adam Clayton Powell, Main Source, Akinelli, Sherman Hemsley, MC Search, Lil Wayne, Cool G Rap, Troop, Tony Bennett, DJ Clue, DJ Envy, Dr. Dre, Disco Twins, Slick Rick, Black Panther 2. Black Panther 2 dropped the same day as King's Disease 3, so I guess that falls in line. But there's a lot more. Those are just the ones I noticed on first listen. All of them seem to flow within the context of whatever story he was reflecting on, whatever moment he was talking about. And there's a lot of cool moments on this project. Thun, for example, finds Nas reminiscing about different times growing up in Queens, New York, the good and the bad. In one moment that's sure to make headlines, Nas reflects on his infamous battle with Jay-Z. Nas says, "No beef for rivals, they playing Ether on Tidal. Brothers can do anything when they decide to. In a Range Rover, dissecting bars from Takeover. Sometimes I text Hova like, nigga, this ain't over, laughing. I had to hold it down for Queens." Sometimes I text Hova like, nigga, this ain't over, laughing. I love that line, especially because I'm in the camp that believes Takeover was better than Ether. I thought it was so grimy how Hov pointed out that Nas didn't own the rights to his most celebrated work, Illmatic. That line he says on Takeover, "I know who I paid, dog, Searchlight Publishing, Yeezus." Now, I know the masses disagree with me on all of this, and I definitely think that battle goes very differently if Jay-Z never drops Super Ugly. Nevertheless, I'll concede. I just think it's great that Nas is joking about how his battle with Jay-Z still ain't over. Now, there's 2 separate, arguably contentious moments that feel connected. Nas famously released his debut album, Illmatic, in 1994. In hip-hop, it's often considered the ultimate classic album, representing a shift in the culture. It was released by Searchlight Publishing, which was owned by third base rapper MC Search. Searchlight was distributed by Columbia Records, which is now owned by Sony. The album is one of the first to include different celebrated producers producing for an artist who wasn't in their group, which was the standard prior to Illmatic's release. DJ Premier produced a track, Q-Tip, Large Professor, LES, and Pete Rock. Pete Rock produced The World Is Yours. If you haven't heard The World Is Yours, punch yourself in the face. Now on the track 30 off King's Disease 3, Nas makes a reference to Pete Rock. This is another moment that will make headlines. He says, "Superhero material, rap star status, premiere album still might happen. I wonder why Pete Rock would act like that. That type of behavior make me give rap right back." So here's the backstory. In January 2022, Rolling Stone ran an article titled "Pete Rock's Lawyer, Why the Producer May Sue Nas Over Illmatic Royalties." In the article, Rock's business manager, Daniel Evans, is quoted as saying that he was attempting to create a global dashboard of all of Pete Rock's royalties from his catalog. When it came to The World Is Yours, he said, "I couldn't find anything for him at Sony, the parent company of Columbia, which released the album. Where are the royalties to this song? Where are they going?" They didn't have any answers. Rock's team says that while Pete Rock's been receiving publishing royalties, they've never received any master royalties from the song since it dropped in 1994. And since Rock sings on the hook, he was also entitled to performance royalties as well, which he claims he also never received. Now check this out. Pete Rock's lawyer, Lita Rosario Richardson, she says that she believes Pete Rock is owed over $1 million for The World Is Yours. She also said that they're looking for ongoing and continuous royalties and that they merely threatened to sue Nas if the matter couldn't be resolved. But again, this album, Illmatic, was put out by MC Serch, who owns Searchlight Publishing. The label was Columbia, which is owned by Sony. This is what Jay-Z was pointing out in his battle against Nas that I mentioned earlier. Clearly, all of this rubbed Nas the wrong way, at least going public with it, and that's what Nas is talking about when he said, "I wonder why Pete Rock would act like that. That type of behavior make me give rap back." Now, I'm not sure how much Nas owns off of Illmatic, but I'm guessing not that much, because later on King's Disease 3, on the track SMH WTF, Nas makes a reference to MC Serch. He says, "Piece to MC Serch, how much the catalog worth. I made it so many can have a piece of what I earned. Push it to the max, now it's maximum returns." So here's what that's about. In October 2022, MC Serch announced that he plans to sell 100% of Nas's legendary catalog. He told All Hip Hop, "I have decided to sell all of the rights, including the global rights. I started conversations with several companies a few months ago. For 27 years, it has provided my family through good times and bad. Now it's time for a new chapter." MC Serch has held the rights to not only Illmatic, but also Nas's classic sophomore release, It Was Written, for nearly 3 decades. He's finally putting them up for sale, and it sounds like Nas is officially putting his bid in. We'll see what happens, but it's all happening, all on this one album. Now, one of my favorite things about Nas is when he downshifts into personification mode, like he did on It Was Written on the track I Gave You Power, where he raps from the perspective of a gun, or like he did on Money Is My Bitch off I Am, where he personifies money. There's 2 tracks on King's Disease 3 that are awesome moments where he does that lovely. The first occurs on Michael and Quincy, which is about Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones. Nas compares he and Hit Boy to those 2 music titans, then runs an ill-extended metaphor using Thriller references. The second verse closes with, like Quincy on the trumpet, Hit Boy on a drum kit. Nasty like Mike on the vocals, I overdub it. Bouncing off the wall, always starting something. Behind the scenes of the Thriller video, big budgets. Then later, Adam Clayton Powell, complexion of Baldwin's. Annie, are you okay watching me transforming? Pinky ring glitter like the socks in the glove. Know some money getting thugs that could buy the Beatles pub. That's what I really call cop and white reeing up. Masterful. The second example of ill personification occurs on the track Beef, where he raps from the perspective of beef and all the drama beef has caused throughout history. He says, when empires fall over women, I am the reason. USA and Al-Qaeda, I'm the tension between them. I'm the words that get misinterpreted. I'm the get back, I'm the first to hit. I'm the worst of it, lurking on your premises. I'm your nemesis. Parents of every slain rapper wish I didn't exist, but I'm alive and I thrive off your ignorance. I'm a 1,000-foot fence that keep you from getting rich. Get around me. I mean, these are always my favorite type of tracks. Ill storytelling joints, spilling imagination. Nas is pushing 50 and his mic still sounds crispy. Now here's a moment that resonates with me personally. On the album, there's a track called Reminisce, and on that track, Nas says, when you're as high as me, you get highly critiqued. And the reason that resonates with me is because in 2021, I made a video critical of Nas's verse on DJ Khaled's Sorry Not Sorry. Nas had a line on that song where he said, basically, I'm cryptocurrency Scarface. Now, I'm still not a fan of that bar, of those bars, but the rest of that video hypothesized that since Nas had begun focusing more on his business ventures and his cryptocurrency holdings, that his music was suffering. It's very difficult to be able to focus on art and enterprise and still remain compelling. In the case of Nas, I couldn't have been more wrong. At the age of 49, Nas has improbably ventured into rarefied air. With King's Disease, King's Disease 2, Magic, and now King's Disease 3, Nas has assembled a hyper-impressive 4-album run, which is something almost unseen in hip-hop. Outkast come to mind, Kanye as well. Arguably Kendrick Lamar, depending on how you look at Untitled Unmastered. Maybe Run the Jewels if you start with rap music. I'm not sure who I'm missing, but I know it's not many. The point is this: Nas has already given us Illmatic. He's already given us It Was Written. He's already given us Stillmatic. He's already given us Life Is Good. And now he's given us an incredible 4-album run in his late 40s. I mean, seriously, if Nas isn't already in your top 5, if he isn't one of the greatest rappers of all time to you, then what does he have left to prove? I don't have the answer to these questions.
Static Selector.
Another Saturday, another TBD. Thank you guys for rocking with me each week. I really appreciate it. A lot of moments on this album I didn't get a chance to cover in this breakdown. This wasn't a full album review. It wasn't a full commentary either, but this is something I've been feeling for a long time, man. I definitely felt like what I said in that previous video about Nas, it held up at that moment. It aged terribly. What Nas is doing right now is really something special. It's something we should definitely appreciate. We should sink into it. We should be thankful that this is going down right now, because you usually don't see this kind of thing happen with artists at this stage in their career. He truly is one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time. A couple of moments I didn't mention on the album that I really loved. I loved his verse on Ghetto Reporter. I think that's the first track on the album. The second verse opens with Nas doing a really good Eminem flow. He picks up Eminem's flow from The Way I Am, and that's how he starts the second verse. Love seeing that from Nas. I like how he talks about unity. Unity is a running theme throughout this project. Unity in the community. I mean, he has a line on Hood to Hood where he says, if we all made niggas, then why we beefing? When them Jewish brothers be chillin' Shabbat Friday evening. Even in jail, I hear Latinos got each other's back. Not us, we jump each other for the phone when it comes to black. I mean, this is clearly on the zeitgeist now. If you look at the thread of stories over the past couple of months, yeah, unity is a big conversation in hip hop right now. Nas is all over it. Also, another one of my favorites on the album, First Time. First Time is another absolute favorite. It's all about the first time people heard Nas. First time I heard Nas came from my cousin Sha. He put me on to Illmatic. Thanks, Cousin Sha. But on there too, he's really honest. He said, the first time you heard Nas, you probably said I picked bad beats. He's self-aware. Also, he targets cancel culture throughout this project as well. There's a whole section on freedom of speech. So there's a lot of things going on in here that I didn't necessarily talk about in the main portion of this video. Make sure you check it out. Also, let me know how you guys feel these 4 albums rank. Nas has released 4 albums over the past 3 years. What's your ranking? I got Magic, King's Disease 3, King's Disease 2, and then the original King's Disease. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And as always, major thank you to the analysts for contributing to this channel, helping to forward this mission each week, and dropping all kinds of ill analysis in the comment section. You guys have been on fire lately. I really appreciate it. What the analysts do is they access my link tree and then they donate to the channel. So without them, you know, maybe some of these likes might not be on or something like that. Either way, my name is Justin Hunte. Like and subscribe to the channel. Follow @TheCompanyMan on everything. And as always, it's all happening.